Can you think of how many slang terms or phrases that you've used in the last couple hours? I've used dude, cool, twerk, turnt, salty, hip, hipster, low-key, etc., etc. The list goes on. It's so embedded in our culture that we don't think about it. So let's think about it. So we've coined terms today like lit, fleek, selfie, and some of them actually made their way to the Oxford Dictionary. But they don't come from a specific event or cultured group like it used to. Slang terms have become less substantial, have less weight, and lack historical significance. It's catchy, it sounds cool, we use them because others use them. The word hipster isn't so unfamiliar while everyone wants to be one. I want to grow a beard and throw some glitter on that shit, the ultimate way of being different. But the word hippie or hipster emerged from the 30s, in the jazz scene actually. It was first used in writing in Cab Calloway's Catalog, a hipster's dictionary. The title is the first recorded use of hipster, and Calloway also defined hepcat for the first time. A hepcat is a guy who knows what it's all about. After hipster came hipster, documented in 1941. This jazz culture and use of hepcat and hipster gave African Americans a voice during the 30s. It broke the stigma that African Americans were submissive and under other races. Now, I looked up this definition on Urban Dictionary and it gave me this long essay. I'll tell you in short. Hipsters are a subculture of men and women, typically in their 20s and 30s, that valued independent thinking, counterculture, progressive politics, and appreciation of art and indie rock, creativity, intelligence, and witty banter. And it goes on and on and on in this little essay. The definition in the past was used to define a subculture in music. Now, it's merely a term to say that I'm different. Let's talk about another phrase. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. During the famous Scopes trial in 1925, a Tennessee school teacher, John T. Scopes, was accused of breaking that state's law by teaching Darwin's theory of evolution rather than the biblical origins of mankind. The trial was a sensation, and it astonished many who had never heard that humans might be related to the apes. And it is from the trial that came the expression, well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. These slang terms and phrases came from subcultures in jazz and gave a voice to African Americans. It made a breakthrough in the education system. We didn't have to think that mankind only came from this one way. We thought further into science and made more theories beyond that. Jacob Eisenstein and his colleagues at the Georgia Institute of Technology in Atlanta conducted a study examining 30 million tweets sent from different locations in the US from December 2009 to 2011. The purpose of the study was to pinpoint the origin of popular slang words and track how they were spread across the country. Look at all those lines. The internet is crazy. Just on Twitter alone, slang is rapidly being exchanged. A slang term or phrase can be shared across the United States without knowledge of its meaning. For example, fleek. The road to mass adoption of fleek runs through a Vine mini video uploaded on June 21st in 2014 by Peaches Monroe. Kindly enough, a YouTube commenter transcribes the words for us. We in this bitch, finna get crunk, eyebrows on fleek to fuck. And the video's right here. So someone literally just posted a Vine of themselves and made up the word fleek. She was doing a little rap, a little cipher, whatever it may be, and it became a sensation. Now everyone uses it all the time. Another word is selfie. So selfie actually made its way to the Oxford Dictionary. And the story behind that is that Nathan Hope posted a self-photograph showing the stitches of his lower lip. And then he continued writing the very first written use of the word selfie in any medium, paper or electronic. At the very end in the caption, he says, "And sorry about the focus, it was a selfie." He claims on ABC News it was not a word that I coined, it's something that was just common slang at the time, used to describe a picture of yourself, fairly simple. He honestly didn't remember the post very well at all. This post was the very first written use of the word selfie, and this guy doesn't even remember the post very well. Lastly, I want to talk about YOLO. It was actually coined in the 1700s in the 8-volume novel Clarissa by Samuel Richardson. And it says, "It teaches me to be covetous of time, the only thing of which we can be allowably covetous, since we live but once in this world, and when are gone from it forever." This was actually the longest novel ever in the English written language. It was continually used by Joey Lewis, a comedian. You only live once, but if you work it right, once is enough. It was then used in Schlitz beer in the 1960s for advertisements. A very consistent saying, you only live once. It blew up with a different type of meaning these days. It was actually by Drake in his song The Motto.
Now she want a photo, You already know though, you only live once, that's the motto, nigga, YOLO, and we bout it every day, every day, every day.
A phrase that had such personal meaning in an 8-volume novel was completely changed by millennials. We use YOLO now because it sounds catchy and it's trendy. Drake uses it, celebrities use it. That's basically why we use it. I mean, slang is important, don't get me wrong. It helps people feel belong to a group, and certain terms are used for comedic reasons and help people develop camaraderie. Sure, there are terms that we use that do reflect a certain amount of culture and are substantial, but compared to the past uses of slang terms and phrases, we can say that they are in fact much less substantial. The past uses of slang broke stigma for African Americans and gave them a voice. It also changed the education system, so why don't we use slang like that now? Thanks for watching, guys. This video was brought to you by DJ Khaled. Another one. Just kidding.